Easy out of here. Easy out of here. Easy out of here. Easy out of here.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Bobcat Sports Weekly. This is episode 23 of Bobcat Sports Weekly. I'm your host, Ethan Bishop. As you can see, I'm not joined by my co-host, Nick Brown. He's out sick at the moment, so it's my show for this week. But it was a pretty cool week in Bobcat Sports. We had some big commitments for a couple of our Bobcat seniors. It was a big week for the boys basketball team, and let's get right into the news. So the boys basketball team with a very, very successful week in Bobcat Sports. They had 2 games on the week, 1 game on Tuesday against Floyd County, and then another game on Saturday against Fort Chiswell, both coming out victorious. But to start off the week on Tuesday, Floyd County comes into Bobcat Gymnasium. It was a packed gym. We'll have a couple pictures of the student section and just how crowded it was. It was honestly pretty cool to see how busy and crowded it was. It was just a fun game to be at. And Floyd earlier this year, they came out and beat us. I think it was by like 11 points. And it was kind of a rough game. So we wanted a little bit of revenge, and they came to Bobcat Gymnasium. We beat them 55-36. It was a loud game. It was fairly chippy too, honestly. I mean, they had a couple of technicals. They weren't very well disciplined in the game. And Coach Cormany just dialed up a really good game for the Bobcats. John Woods with a spectacular game in that one. I think he had like 15 rebounds and maybe I want to say 9 points, I think. He had a very, very good game. Floyd came out starting strong too. They came out, I think it was 11-2 in the first quarter. And then after that, though, it was just smooth sailing for the Bobcats, coming out and just not really giving up any of the rest of the way. Their one guy that was doing really, really well, his name is Tanyan Sutphin. He was playing extremely well in the first quarter, and then we just ended up shutting him down. And he struggled for the rest of the game. But it was a fun game to be at. It was a packed gym. I want to thank a lot of the student section for being there. It was just cool to see the student section packed up all the way to the top. And it was a really cool game, and we were happy to get a win over them. They brought a decent-sized student section, to be honest, and they weren't as loud as they were when we played them in the regional, it was the state semis in girls volleyball, and they brought a loud student section. This time they were a little bit quiet, just because they didn't really have too much to talk about, just because they weren't really doing too much for Floyd, and we were just shutting them down too. And it was just a very, very good game coming out of the Bobcats. We're excited for a little bit of a revenge game. And maybe we can play them in the playoffs, and they can come back to the Bobcat Gymnasium, because that was probably the most crowded I think I've ever seen the Bobcat Gym, and it was pretty cool to see. And then they played another game on Saturday. It was against Fort Chiswell. Fort Chiswell, not really the best opponent of all time. I mean, it was a 70-43 victory. Cam Corney with outstanding game in that one. He had 31 points, 30 of those coming off of 10 threes. So it was a very, very good game for him beyond the arc. And I mean, it was just fun to watch him. He was 10 of 17, so shooting a very good percentage from 3, also looking like Steph Curry out there. And a couple of other good players too that game. We had Jackson McManus had a good game. Doug Kanipe had a good game. That one was just a very, very good win for our guys. We were shooting well offensively, and it was fun to watch, especially Cam scoring 31 points and 10 threes. That was a ton of fun to watch. It was also a senior night too for John Woods. Kind of sad to see him go after this year. A little bit unfortunate, but it was a senior night for him. And also too, at the beginning of the game, there was a little ceremony for the golf team, and we'll roll that clip right here. And it's very cool to see the first golf state championship banner hung up in the gymnasium, and one of many to come, hopefully. And it's kind of cool to see it with all of our other banners up there too. So it was a very good week for the boys basketball team. The Floyd game was a ton of fun. I'm very glad that a lot of Bobcat fans came out. And to come up this week, actually no home games for the boys or the girls, I think too. But I think so tonight on Monday night they go to Fort Chiswell for another rematch. Should be a fairly easy win for the guys. So obviously we beat them 70-43 when we played them on Saturday. So that one was a pretty easy one. And then let's see, we have I think that might actually be the oh no, they play on Wednesday too at Giles. Giles not very very good. I don't think that they have a win on the season yet, to be honest. So that one should be another pretty easy game for our guys, and I think they should keep on rolling and going into playoffs. So we're happy for the guys. I hope you guys got to see the Floyd game. That one was a ton of fun to be at, and go Bobcats. It was kind of a hard week for the girls basketball teams. They had two games on the week, one against Floyd County and the other against Carroll County. Both of those teams are very, very solid opponents. Floyd County was to start the week off on Monday. It was a Floyd week for both boys and girls. And we lost 72-60. We were actually leading at the end of the third quarter, I want to say. We were up by like 8, and it was like 48 to, I want to say, 40. And the fourth quarter, they scored 32 points. It was kind of sad to see because I thought we really, really had a chance watching the game, and at the end of the third quarter, up by 8. And then just, I don't know what really happened. Our girls just started fouling, making dumb plays, and I mean, credit to Floyd, they were playing good in the second half, or not second half, fourth quarter, really, but scoring 30 points in a half is pretty impressive for them. But it was kind of sad kind of a bad loss, but Floyd's a really good team, and we can't really be too mad. They actually have I think they have 7 losses on the season, but all their losses are to really, really big schools, and obviously they're just a 2A school like us. But a couple of big games coming out of our girls in that game. We had Lexi Rader with 15 points for her senior night. She had a very, very good game. Maggie Turk had a really good game too with 13 points. But I don't really know exactly what happened, but it was kind of unfortunate. And then on Wednesday, we went down to Carroll County. And we were talking about that game last week. Carroll County, they're a good opponent. They're got some very tall girls on their team. I mean, and they're also 4A. So they beat us 56-31. Another kind of tough loss for our girls, but can't really be too upset because I think Carroll County is an extremely very good opponent. And I don't think that we were shooting the ball very well that game either. So it was kind of a rough week for our girls, but plenty of opportunities to bounce back for them this week. I think they play on Tuesday. They go at Giles. They beat them last time we played them. Giles, they're a solid team though. I think we didn't beat them by much last time we played them. So that one should be a good game, but I think we can definitely take that one. And then I think that's their only game on this week because they were supposed to play Thursday, but that game got canceled and that I think it's getting postponed. So they only have one game on the week, but hopefully they can bounce back after a tough week. It was a very good week for the boys basketball team. A little bit of a rougher week for the girls basketball team, but they have some opportunities this week to bounce back. But in other news this week, we had some big commitments coming out of our high school seniors. First of all, we had Justice Marshall committing to Emory and Henry to play football. We're very excited for him, slot wide receiver and running back. He should have a very good career there. And then we have another person too. Sophie Graham is also going to Emory and Henry to play soccer. So two Emory and Henry commits. They both signed sometime here soon. So it's a very, very cool to see. Sophie Graham is very good at soccer, and then it's going to be cool to see Justice Marshall to play at Emory and Henry. So, and it's not a terrible drive either down there. So if you ever want to go to watch some of their games, be sure to try and come down. And then the other commitment this week, Kip Green committing to Coastal Carolina to play football. Obviously, we've seen that he's a very good player. He was down to a bunch of schools. I heard some things about JMU that he was going to. He had a preferred walk-on, I think, to Tech. So a couple of big names coming out for him, but he ends up choosing Coastal Carolina for, I guess they probably gave him the best scholarship. And so we're very excited for him. I mean, they play on like the blue field or whatever it is. So it's pretty cool to see. And if you ever get the chance to go and watch some of them next year, it'd be pretty cool to see you. Obviously, we've got a couple other people too that have already signed, like Ben Cox going to Vanderbilt, Charlie Dietz going to Randolph-Macon to play volleyball. So a very good senior class coming out of this year. We've got some very good athletic people, and we're excited to see it. Very excited for some of our high school seniors. We hope that they have very successful careers and for years to come in their lives. But we're also excited too for the golf state championship banner. It's pretty cool to see the first one ever. And be sure to come out to a couple of the games this week. There's actually regions tonight on Monday night for swim. So if you can come out to that, it's at the Christiansburg Aquatic Center. Be sure to come out to that. I'm sure the swimmers would love to see y'all. So come out to that and come and support them. They're finally in some playoff action. They're our first winter team in playoff action. So be sure to watch that and be sure to like and subscribe. And this has been Ethan Bishop, and I'm signing off.